quote read just like this. It says, happiness is letting go of what you think your life is supposed to look like and celebrating it for everything that it is. When I read that this morning, that was submitted by our friend Helen Huang. She submitted the quote to the hashtag Rise and Grind planner today. And as I thought about that, happiness is letting go of what you think your life is supposed to look like and celebrating it for everything that it is. I thought, my goodness, so much truth to that. You know, we talk about in the morning there's 5 simple steps. There's don't hit the snooze button, don't touch your phone first thing in the morning. You're writing down your gratitude and goals, how incredibly important that is. Taking care of yourself physically and sending out an encouraging message. And step 3, the gratitude and goals. That's what this is all about. It's all about coming from a place of gratitude first, celebrating your life for everything that it is. You see, so often we forget how far we've come. So often we forget to celebrate the fact that, dude, you survived. A lot of people didn't. You woke up this morning. A lot of people didn't. You've overcome so much. A lot of people didn't. You've gone through the adversities like my man Shaka Dyson talked about yesterday on Breakfast with Champions. A lot of people didn't. So I love that quote this morning. Letting go of what what you thought your life was supposed to look like and celebrating it for everything that it is the first step of evolving to moving forward to becoming the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And speaking of evolution, this week we're talking here on Rise and Grind. What does Rise and Grind mean to you? And breaking down those 4 words: rise, evolve, impact, together. So let's keep it going. Time to dive in.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? You see, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts. Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to 1, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Tuesday. That's right. Today is Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Listen, it's time to rise and grind. I can't even tell you how many times I've said those words of rise and grind. I can't tell you how many times I've written those words and used that hashtag rise and grind. My man Bill is over on Clubhouse. He could probably tell me. Bill could probably look it up. He could probably figure it out. He's a data guy. He could probably tell you exactly how many times I've used the hashtag rise and grind. But I couldn't tell you. I've used it a lot, man. And it is time to rise and grind. So what exactly does that mean to you? That's the real question. What does rise and grind mean to you? Well, for some people, it means, we have to work way super hard. We got to grind, right? Like you got to take a grinder and grind it into corn and to make cornmeal, right? For some people, It's a grit type thing. For other people, it means to wake up super, super early, to beat the sun up, right? And you guys are telling me the sound is awful over on Clubhouse, and I apologize. I don't know what to do about that in the moment. Slightly distant? Okay. I don't know. Thanks, William. Everybody's always looking out for me, man. I love this team. Now, it might just be that I sound awful because I got some things going on over on this side. So it might just be that. And I apologize if that is the case. But that's what I'm dealing with this morning. All right? So listen to me. Rise and grind means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But for me, rise and grind comes down to 4 words. It comes down to rise with intention and purpose, evolve into the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be, ultimately so you can go out and make a impact, and we can do it together. So rise, evolve, impact together. And yesterday we broke down what it really means to rise, right? We broke down how it means to ascend, to climb to a higher level, to become more than what you were, to go from lower to upper in simplest forms. We broke that down. And today we're going to break down this word evolution and what that really looks like and means to you. But first, before we do, you know what we got to do on this show? We always got to dance. That's right. There we go. There we go. For those of you that know, those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show. I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button. I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you to hit that share button. If you're over here on Clubhouse, you need to hit that plus button in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. For those of you on Facebook, go ahead and share this sucker out. We're going to get this thing rocking and rolling. The show will go on today. The show will go on today. Over your dying. But the show will go on no matter what. That's what I love about you guys. How incredible is it that I have an amazing team of people around me that will help me when I'm down, right? How incredible is that? We've got my girl Jalissa over on Clubhouse, rocking the tunes. I don't have my roadcaster right now. For those of you on Clubhouse can't see me, I'm not in my normal studio. I'm actually at my house in my basement, which is my second studio where I don't normally do the show. So Jalissa's helping me. She's screening tunes, making sure everybody can dance. There's people dancing over on Facebook. My tribe over there. Been with me for years, loving on me. They're doing all the dancing. I love you guys. This is the part of the show where we do some dancing. Also the part of the show where I say good morning to you and you say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live, watching on replay, listening on the podcast, checking it out on YouTube, no matter what, you say what's up, I'll say what's up back. So this morning I get to say what's up to John Coltonborn. How you doing, Janice Moley? We got Tina Bacon in the house. We also have Gail B. Craft and Jeremy Noley. What's up, Angela Heath? How you doing, Amy Kennedy? Vicky Everett. J.R. White's up in here. Barrett Trout, West Storm, Kimberly Hatfield. Over on Clubhouse, we got my boy Kevin. Trey's up in here. Kimberly, Kiru. We got Damon and Donata. We got Danny and Big Mike and Debbie and Bruce and Giuseppe and Adrian. The doctor's up in here. Everybody's up in here on hashtag Rise and Grind this morning. It's a party and I love it. Keep on dancing. Let's go.
Better get used to the routine. I ain't sleep, I'm living the dream, feeling like I can do anything. Cause this is God's plan. I wake up, I thank the man, brush my teeth and wash my hands, then I get back to the grind. Got victory on my mind, success and dollar signs. Now open all the blinds so they can't block my shine. Cause I am the light, amen. Going platinum with this anthem for the AM. It take passion, massive action, dedication. We the champions, so it's a celebration. This is our time and that's for sure. Every day we grinding, that's for sure. If you's a hitter like Josh, oh, like him with Glenn and tell a friend and let him know. We hashtag rise and grind, hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation,
has technical difficulties this morning. But the good news is the music is rocking. And that's all y'all really need in the morning anyway, right? You guys just need a little music to keep you rocking and rolling. Hey, do me a huge favor if you haven't done so already. We are doing our Rise and Grind Flash Mob this week, our virtual flash mob, first of its kind, hashtag Rise and Grind virtual flash mob. We are going to be dancing all around the world to the hashtag Rise and Grind song. It's going to be absolutely incredible. You can be a part of that by going to riseandgrindmob.com. Go to riseandgrindmob.com, sign up. We're going to send you the dance, how to do it, the tutorial, straight up choreographer, how to load it to TikTok, how to load it to Instagram, how to load it to all of those places. My friend Tamara did some incredible tutorials to break it down. So last night I was up with my daughter. We were doing the dance in the living room. She was teaching it to me. Dude, I love it. And you want to talk about something super cool? My friend Tony with the Keys, who wrote the Rise and Grind song. Tony with the Keys is getting all hyped because people are listening to his song from all over the world. They're sending him messages on how the song uplifts and really changes the way they start their day. And so the impact that he's making through his song is really powerful. It's really important to him, clearly, right? And so you guys are energizing him. You are jacking him up. You've got him thinking about his music and how his music can really move people and the impact he can make in other people's lives through his music. So I love that. If you love the Rise and Grind song, even if you're not a normal dancer, even if that's not normally your thing, even if you're not normally on TikTok or you're not normally on Instagram, I would love it, love it, love it if you would participate in the first ever virtual flash mob. That's going to be this Friday at 10 o'clock. We're going to be doing that. So you got to learn the dance now. So go to riseandgrindmob.com and you can check that out. All right, let's dive into this week's series as we talk about what does Rise and Grind mean to you, and we talk about this word, evolution. Sorry, Clubhouse, for that little bit of a delay. We don't have my normal audio as we typically do, so we're having to do things a little bit different. There was a little segue there over on the Facebook side. So let's talk about this. What does evolution look like? What does evolution look like? Evolution is a small adjustment, small, teeny, tiny adjustments over time until one day, boom, everything looks different, right? Like science talks about evolution, the evolution of man, if you believe that, evolution of different animals and creatures, if you believe that, Darwin's theory of evolution, survival of the fittest, if you believe that. Science has theories when it comes to evolution. And when you look at the theories of evolution, you'll notice that, or the studies of evolution, you'll notice that it's tiny little tweaks, tiny little adjustments over time until one day you just wake up and everything's different. I experience this with my kids, all 8 of them that I have. I experience this all the time. Joel will come out of his room and all of a sudden I'll look at my wife and I'll just be like, that boy got taller, didn't he? All of a sudden he's taller. We didn't notice the gradual incremental steps, the gradual incremental growth. Just all of a sudden he looks different. He looks transformed. He looks like something new. And what's crazy is that when we're going through these evolutionary periods, a lot of times we can't even see it, right? A lot of times we can't see these tiny tweaks and adjustments that are happening within us. Just all of a sudden it compounds, and one day we're better looking than we thought we were going to be, or maybe a little more overweight than we thought we were going to be, or maybe all of a sudden we're out of shape when we didn't think we were going to be, or we just tend to lose sight of where we were headed and where we want to go. And see, in Rise and Grind, as we talk about this thing called evolution, it's so incredibly important that everyone understand. That everyone understand that evolution is I just lost my words. I'm struggling this morning. Can you guys tell? You got to bear with me for just a second. Bear with me just a second. All right, let's bring this back together real quick. Thank you, folks. You guys are amazing. Sometimes there's stuff, right? Sometimes there's stuff, and it's part of the process. Part of the process. So, but that's not what you're here for this morning. So that's not where we're going this morning. Okay? All right, listen, this process of evolution, these small incremental tweaks over time, small incremental tweaks over time that compound to ultimately get you the net result. Now, there's this process that we go through, right? Change, struggle, grow, succeed. It's really the process of evolution. Something changes. Immediately after that change, we go through this process of struggle. The struggle is what causes the growth. The slow changes in growth, those little incremental growth, whether it's a muscle change, a mental change, a spiritual change, that growth is ultimately what leads to the success, right? I see this in my kids all of the time. They start off just this little baby, goo goo gaga, right? This little alien, this little blob that's 100% content being where they are, doing what they're doing. Right now we've got Caroline. Caroline Dawn's 10 years old. She's just a blob. She poops, she pees, she cries. That's about it, right? She smiles every once in a while, but she's starting to reach that point where you can see something starting to shift in her mind. You can see a shift in her mind as her eyes are starting to look around and she's starting to explore and she's starting to understand that there's more to life than just laying there doing nothing. And so you can see her starting to lift her neck back. She's starting to stick her arms out. She's starting to kick her feet in different ways. You can watch her physically start to struggle. And as she's starting to struggle, the struggle is where the growth is happening. Her muscles are starting to grow. Her motor functions are starting to come together in ways that they weren't before. She's starting to connect synapses in her brain that are ultimately going to bring her to a point to where she's going to be able to roll over. And once she rolls over, that successful activity is going to be the momentum that she needs to create more and more change in her life as she continues to grow. There'll be another change, which will be followed by a struggle, which will be followed by growth. And then one day she'll be crawling. There'll be another change, which will be followed by struggle, which will be struggle followed by growth. And then one day she'll start walking. There'll be another change, which will be followed by struggle, which will be followed by growth. Then one day she'll be running and growing. And all throughout her life, she'll continue to go through this entire process, just like me and you. Change, struggle, grow, succeed. That is how evolution works. And we keep the momentum going over time. So this thing, evolution, this infinite game that never ends, that has no finish line, how does it apply for Rise and Grind? How does it work for this particular segment, this particular thing that we're doing right here? And that's what I want to share with you today, the evolution of Rise and Grind. It's funny that we're doing this almost archaically today. It's ironic compared to how we normally do it. This is very ironic now that I think about it. So it started in a utility closet with a microphone and a man with an idea. And over time, incrementally, as we started to stack relationships, as we started to stack experience, as we started to stack habits, as we started to stack each of those things, over time, it has completely transformed to where now it's something completely unrecognizable from what it was in the beginning. except for today. But it's become something completely unrecognizable. It went from a show to a community online, a community on social media. That community then wanted live events, so we had live events. That community wanted t-shirts, so we have a clothing line. That community wanted planners, so we have planners. That community wanted water bottles, coffee mugs, bracelets. We have water bottles, coffee mugs, bracelets. That community wanted to connect offline in new, profound ways, so we did that. That community said, "Hey, wait a minute, let's do some offline charitable things. Let's help people battling cancer. Let's take homeless people off the street. Let's raise $400,000 to battle human sex trafficking. Let's do all of these things." And this evolution, right? This evolution, that I never imagined it would be what it is today. And then we move into Clubhouse and we create Breakfast with Champions, which is a whole 6-hour deal built around hashtag Rise and Grind of more relationships. And those relationships are evolving. And that platform's evolving. And the way that we move through it is evolving. And along the way of this evolution process, it's the same thing happening over and over and over again. Something changes. And we struggle like I'm doing this morning. And we grow through that struggle and we succeed. But here's the best part about evolution. Oh, somebody said today's the first day they used their new planner. I love that. Here's the best thing about evolution. Once you understand this process, once you understand that it's all about change, struggle, grow, succeed, you can identify which season you are in and go back to the quote that it said at the beginning of the book. Happiness is letting go of what you think your life is supposed to look like and celebrating it for everything that it is. If you're in a season of change right now, I want you to know and be aware that that season is about to be followed by struggle. It's inevitable. Anytime that you have change, you will have struggle. That's simply the way it works. If you are in a season of struggle right now, I want you to know and be aware. Know and be aware that that's a good thing. It shows you're growing. It's how you develop the muscle memory and all that you need to get to that next level. So if you're in a season of struggle right now, don't let that season of struggle hold you back or hold you down. Allow that season of struggle to be the fuel that propels you to what's next. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Those of you that are in a season of struggle, I'm proud of you. That means you're pushing. That means you're evolving into a better version of yourself. And you see, that's what we all need. We all need you to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. If you're in a season of growth right now, you've maybe broke through some of the struggles. That's about where we're at right now with Rise and Grind. We're in this season of growth. All types of new relationships are spawning. New opportunities are growing. So we're in this season of growth. And on the other side of growth is success if we allow it. Sometimes we get too busy just growing that we never reap the harvest. So make sure if you're in that season, identify that, hey, this is a season of growth. This is a season of growth. This is where we're at. We're gonna embrace this. We need to let this marinate. We need to let this happen. We're gonna go ahead and harvest this. But we know success is on the other side, and just on the other side of success is gonna be a change, followed by struggle, followed by growth, followed by success. That's the cycle. So where are you at in your cycle? Go ahead and drop it down in the comments. What season are you in right now? Embrace it. Be grateful for it. It is the process that will lead you to what's next. Listen, I want to thank you for being with me this morning on this interesting episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. Interesting to say the least. The good news is we've done 831 of these. So you can always go to GlennLundy.com if you need to get some more motivation, some education, some inspiration, any of those things. Go to GlennLundy.com. You can check that all out there. If you want to go hang out over on Clubhouse, they're going to be hanging out on Clubhouse for the next 5 hours, celebrity interviews, all kinds of great things that will be happening on there. So if you're on the Clubhouse app, make sure you come join us. We'll have some powerful stuff going on over there. But most importantly, do me a huge favor. Come back here again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. Have a great day.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag rise and grind.